Do, do, do. Okay. Hey, you like my Venom shirt? Pretty cool, right?
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah.
My daughter has the exact same one.
Your daughter has impeccable taste in t-shirts. Yeah, it's amazing that Target had this shirt. So is Venom a black character or what?
I think so. I claim him.
You claim him, okay?
Claim him.
He,
Claim
I
him,
mean,
girl.
he has
I
black
claim him as
skin.
part of the community.
I
See,
only
You
I
asked.
never
got it.
thought about it. I never thought about it like that. I thought of I think of him as just an alien. I never thought of him as a black character.
So there,
Are you one of those people that assigns race kind of arbitrarily to cartoon characters too? Like Chowder is black. Um, who else? Who else?
well, there was
Now
a
that I'm like on the spot, I can't think about it, but I've got a nice little handful of. Yes,
well, there's
Darwin is canonically black in my opinion.
there's like Garnet, but she's like coated black, like
Mhm.
Bismuth.
Garnet's hot.
So I
Garnet is
only
my
I
wife.
only I only say that about Venom because like I saw a TikTok of a black comedian and he has this like phenomenal makeup. I don't know how he did it. I guess it's all concealer, but he has like a farmer's tan and stuff. And he's wearing like an overalls and he's just out there going woo boy. He's at NASCAR and stuff. And you think he like everyone just thinks he's white like, and it's so funny how arbitrary race really is. It's just like oh your skin color is a certain color.
It's
It's a certain
fucking
shade.
stupid.
We're
It's
gonna
so
assign
fucking
all these
stupid.
assumptions to you. So is Venom the first like interracial like gay marriage in comic books, or Eddie Brock and Venom?
Conversation that should be
Wait,
had.
what?
Oh my god, I'm like literally sitting here like, yeah, because they act like a
Never thought
fucking
about that. Yeah.
ridiculous married couple. That makes total sense. They fight like a married couple. They're assholes to each other like a married couple. They also help each other out like a married couple. They're totally married. Oh my god, Venom and Eddie Brock are married now.
All right. So yeah, welcome back to Demon Toast, the podcast for gothic and horrific literature. I am King Loki, the editor of Deathwish Poetry Magazine, of which this is a subsidiary of. We're back to talk about Blade. Sadly, not the Blade from the Puppet Master series. I'm heartbroken that we're doing not that Blade. We have
Or Blade the Immortal, which I'm just saying is phenomenal. It's one of my favorite comics. You love me. You also hate me. It's fair.
So we have Adrian, our co-host, and we have Ericka, our other co-host, and special guest, Miracle Austin.
Hello. So happy to be here. Thank y'all.
Fuck yeah. So I want to open up with this essay I found from a website called We Are Parable, which I don't at me believe is run by black people. This essay in particular is about Blade and his roots in exploitation genre movies. Blade's characterization also vastly differed from the traditional good superhero that we have seen so many times before. Traditionally, the male superhero is a hyper-masculine figure. He is the defender of the damned and quintessentially masculine, meaning hard, strong, reserved, and active, defined by their toughness and an overwhelming loyalty to whatever community they have vowed to protect. They are selfless, messianic, cis, straight, and more often than not, white. These masculine tropes are slightly problematized with black male superheroes. Even without superpowers, the black male body has always been regarded as a site of hyper masculinity characterized by sexual veracity and intimidation. And more often than not, black male bodies have been seen as both perpetrating and enduring tremendous violence. The blaxploitation era that began in the 70s ushered a new type of black action hero on screen. These action stars were unapologetically black, brimming with machismo, fighting against the system, right? And he's talking like not just the comic characters he's about to list, but like Shaft and I guess Dolomite. Dolomite's kind of ridiculous, but Luke Cage, the first black Marvel character. That's not correct. That is wrong. In 72 and directly channels energy of the blaxploitation genre. Similarly, the first Blade comics came out a year after the blaxploitation horror film Blackula was released. One of the better entries into the blaxploitation canon, Blackula followed another enigmatic black vampire that ostensibly fought against a corrupt white police force. Vampirism was a lens that explored Blade's duality, his in-betweenness and otherness. Blade's own resistance to bloodlust comes from a serum that was developed by a serum, and this is in the movie, created by a sickle cell researcher, a condition that predominantly affects the Black community. Blood acted as a metaphor for other anxieties. He goes on to talk about HIV, drugs,
That's
and other things, but, Blade's own form of racialized vengeance acts as a prototype for the angry anti-heroes Killmonger and Candyman. The fearless genre blending of horror and action is one of the key components of its success, and it's something that can be seen in the most successful modern superhero films. So he goes on to talk about black horror and its resurgence with, the Jordan Peele produced stuff, but what do we think about that essay and its summation of Blade, the new Blade? The third incarnation, right? As we said before, the first incarnation is that guy that looks like Jim Brown from the Tomb of Dracula. The second one is that angry, pissed off 90s guy with the motorcycle jacket. The third is Wesley Snipes. Adrian, you want to say something?
I do.
Explode.
I'm not gonna explode. It's fine. The fact that he's bringing up the Jordan Peele stuff, and so Get Out is literally dealing with people's obsession with black bodies and like how we perceive them and like their idealistic idea, like how athletic, how this, how that. That's literally what the entire movie was about. So Jordan Peele really like keyed into that because he's lived it. So it's important. That's all
Yeah.
I'm going to say.
Fair enough. Ericka?
Just kind of bouncing off that last little bit there that Adrian was talking about with like the sensationalization of black bodies. I think part of the reason that was so important is because it's not something that affects just him. In terms of the black community, it is something that affects all of us pretty deeply because like our ancestors were bred for the best genetic outcome. And I feel like that hyperfixation has just kind of carried on and changed form a little bit in modern day. It's less so about like breeding in the best characteristics for working hands, right? And like aesthetics, what's going to be the most physically appealing to people both in and out of our communities because like racism is this big overt thing, right? Like I've heard on more than one occasion from people outside of the community, like you're pretty for a black girl. Colorism is equally difficult in that regard, right? Like, Black people are also very conscious of their own bodies and other Black people's bodies. And I think that's something that's also kind of important in the Blade franchise. Like, I really appreciated that essay for that reason, because if you're thinking outside of just oh, this is like a vampire story with some fun action bits thrown in, right? There is a lot of kind of on the nose things that affect our community and were like big points of contention at the time, especially concerning like drugs and physicality.
Drugs and physicality.
Yes. I will also say, like, I've had friends tell me that, like, usually in Hollywood and stuff like that, they cast lighter skinned dark people, right? Wesley Snipes was not that. He is black as midnight, black as pitch, and it's fucking beautiful, right?
Yes.
Like, he didn't even try to pretend to be anything that he wasn't in Blade.
Right.
And it's a celebration of that in a way, and it's like, look at this hardcore motherfucking badass. He's very obviously dark, and there is beauty in that darkness, and they use that darkness as kind of like a metaphor in the film in a way. Like,
Yeah.
it's magic.
So,
Right?
no shade to Michael J. White, but yeah, Spawn is like
Yeah.
embarrassed to be black, like
Yeah.
he said he yells "damn" at one point just to let you know he's black, and it's like having to tell people you're the king.
Yeah. Like, you shouldn't have to tell people you're the king. You should just know it. Like, it's a thing.
Miracle.
Wesley Snipes, I'm sure, would have something to say about that. And this guy, like, I mean, he's super talented. He was very highly martial arts trained, and we're about to talk about the second one, and I have a lot of things to say about that because
Right.
um
Yeah.
I wanted to weigh in a little bit. Both what Adrian shared and Ericka about colorism. You know, I was really shocked that Wesley Snipes was cast because of the shade of his skin. I was like, oh goodness, what's going to come of this? But I was so happy that he was to knock out that, how should I say, assumption, to have someone who was more, less darker than him. So it was beautiful to see that on screen. I was so happy that they went that direction, and also that he collaborated with the movie, with the producer. That made a huge impact. So I just wanted to add that.
Huge point of empowerment. I think that's why it was so important to me as a kid, and definitely so important for my dad to show me, because
Yes.
it was like a direct representation for him that he had never gotten before. Then it was something he got to share with me growing up and be like, this is what you have to look forward to. Times
Yeah.
are changing and they're not the greatest now, but like there's potential.
Hope.
there's hope.
Hope.
As a parent, I literally show my kids certain movies. Like, we literally just watched Get Out very recently because, like, I want them to see what hope looks like. You know what I mean? And that's what Wesley Snipes was in Blade. He was literally like, I remember because this was like I said, like I was in high school when the first one came out. I was in college when the second one came out. And I thought, oh my God, like the world is getting better. It's so awesome.
So I do want to say
And
before
now
we
it's
move,
done.
now that we're moving on to Blade 2, I just want to say that Blade is the movie, it is the one that is the most magical for me because it is the most love this character has ever gotten. Like Thor, right? In the 80s, Thor had this wonderful run by Walter Simonson where his world exploded with life and color, and he came to life like never before, and the character has never died since then. Characters sometimes have a seminal run. Blade has not had that in the comic books, in my oh so humble opinion. Night Stalkers is close. It's close. We'll talk about that. But Blade 1, it sets up a world, it establishes him, and as I said in the first episode, it was his Robert Downey Jr. moment where he's moved away from the Wesley Snipes a bit, but it's still there. It was a push in the right direction. With that said, Blade 2.
It's my favorite. It is my favorite of the franchise. I can't help myself.
Fair. It is fair. It has the highest production value. It's very good. And it's made by another beloved, of this show, Guillermo del Toro. I just fucked up his name. That's okay. I'm an idiot.
Guillermo del Toro.
Thank you. He is one of my favorite directors. I've got Hellboy behind me. Hellboy is my favorite comic book. Well, it's one of my favorite top 3. He is a very, 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 very talented visual director. I believe Cronus and Mimic were out at the time. And David Goyer, being a movie guy, knew those things and knew him and was like, direct this movie, And the goal, once again, was to make the vampires more frightening. And this movie does edge very deep into horror imagery. As Adrian pointed out, and I saw when I rewatched the movie, it's very obvious. This is a precursor to what Del Toro would go on to do with the TV show The Strain.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't watched The Strain, go watch The Strain. I have some issues with it as a Jewish person. They have an old man who isn't Jewish playing a Holocaust survivor. It's fine, whatever, but...
It's not fine. It's actually really gross, but the show has some qualities that are worth watching.
It's a good show. So, but Del Toro brought a lot of things to this movie. It's not my favorite, but it's fucking great. So, Blade, I noticed, has red lining in his jacket, like Dracula's cape. And it gives him that extra shade of majesty to his baddest. Holy fuck.
She's got it, honey. She's got it. I told you.
I think I need that. No, really. Like, I have dolls. Hang on.
So does she.
I think I also need that.
It's literally her favorite.
Here's my Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And here's my Barbie. Here's my David Bowie Barbie. Yeah, I love this Barbie.
Oh,
Yo,
wow.
Why
you're.
can't I steal that from you? If I'm gonna steal your hat, why can't I steal David Bowie?
I don't know, Adrian. Why can't you?
Oh, be careful. Might happen.
Yeah. You try it, bitch. You'll be in for a rude awakening, motherfucker.
That's what you think, but
Yeah. Well, whatever. Miracle wins. Yeah. So, yeah. Red fucking cape. Let's see. The Reaper strain. So the Reaper strain, they have like a horrible vagina mouth that opens and a tongue that shoots out and drinks blood. It's very cool. It's very neat. And they wisely use a lot of darkness for the CGI. And again, having everything I said about the first movie applies to this one in terms of the effects and the writing. 20 years of Marvel movies, right? More and more CGI as we go along. And this movie, there is a lot of CGI, but like they took a lot of influences. Del Toro in particular took a lot of influences from samurai movies and anime. There's this epic part where Blade and Whistler and all those motherfuckers are in their little vampire den, and they turn on their solar lights because vampires just showed up, and they're wearing like full bodysuits, like in the Daywalkers movie, Daybreakers movie. And like they pull out swords and they start having this like cool samurai fight in front of the bright lights. And there's CGI for a lot of it, but it's well shot. Yes?
Donnie Yen choreographed all of that. Donnie Yen is IP Man. He is a historically legendary kung fu artist. He studied under Bruce Lee, and he literally in the movie for a few minutes. The only person he didn't have to coach was fucking Wesley Snipes
Wesley Snipes,
because he already had the like training. So he's like, I don't need to touch that guy. But every dance in Blade 2, every sword dance that they do, that is Donnie Yen's magic. And anyone who watches like Chinese beautiful movies like that, you know who I'm talking about. It was I had no idea he had done that. I looked it up. He actually even choreographed the third one too. He did both of them.
So Ron Perl, Del Toro directing this movie. It adds more things. First off, Ron Perlman is here as the Muscle. I believe his name is Reinhardt. He's awesome. He's excellent. Hellboy himself is in this movie. I call him Monster Face because he has a monster face. And most importantly for me, Marco Beltrami, who did the soundtrack for Hellboy 1, does the music here, and he turns in a very good effort, I think. It's not as memorable as Blade Trinity, but that's okay. Yeah, so I have a lot of things I wanted to say. Lots of props. There's a gross dissection scene where they're taking the vampire apart and they're pulling his organs out, and man, it's a great sequence. It's very gross. The bad guys love Blade's sword. Interestingly enough, in the comics, in the '90s comics, his sword is made out of wood because he has to stake the vampires with it and cut their heads off.
I
Yeah.
will tell you that mythologically, like I love that they did at least use silver in like if they're going to convert it, they use silver because it does actually kill vampires. And the way that they did that was great. But the whole comic thing with him using wood and whittling wooden knives and shit, that is absolutely that is Monster Hunter like magic right there. The comic books where he does that, it is everything. Dan had to send me all the stuff. It is like it blew my mind because that's like really like him just like whittling these knives. It's one of the most beautiful moments in the comic books. But I do understand why because they were going for a more modern effect. So they wanted something that didn't, but they still did their research, right?
Yeah.
So even though they didn't want to use wood and like because wood breaks, right? Like let's
Wood
be honest.
breaks.
Not
Wood
wood
breaks. Yeah, like in the comic book, he has like this huge like mound of wooden knives. He just sits and watches TV and whittles for hours on end. It's in a comic that sadly only ran for 3 issues. It's heartbreaking.
It was the best one though. I did read them. It was the best.
Incidentally, that is the comic book that directly precedes the first movie. On the cover, he looks like Wesley Snipes. Here we go. All right, let me share my screen. If you're listening on Spotify, you don't get to see this, so, you just have to take my word for it. But, yeah. Some motherfuckers are always ice skating uphill. Yeah, see, as you can see, right there. There he is. There's our boy.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yes, it is. It really is. I mean, it's fucking great. Yeah, this is the 23 book. It's the most recent book. This is from Night Stalkers, actually. That was I think it ran for like 10 issues. Oh, there's my girl again, Lilith.
Yeah, she's so hot though.
So there's his wooden sword. He carves how do you say, occult symbols onto it too, because I don't know. I think it has to do with belief and the way they approach these things.
And that's the thing about vampire films, especially recently, and novels as well. Like, they're acknowledging that there's different religions finally, and it's not about what you believe in, it's about your belief. But it's the same with Stephen King's It. Like, those kids literally believed that those things were going to fight the monster. It's what's in here that fights the monsters. Like, that's it.
All right, so moving along, there are other things too. Like Del Toro is really good at depicting monsters. There's a part where they have one of the Reaper vampires, and they have to drink blood, right? Or they die, and they have him locked up, and he starts eating himself, and he looks so sad when he looks at them. It's this moment of humility and humanity, and what you take as a mindless monster, And that comes from Del Toro's treatment of if you've seen The Shape of Water, you know what I'm talking about. That's his masterpiece,
Well, I hate to go back to the strain again, but it's like the Rupert Penny Jones character, who is, the vampire that hunts vampires, and that's literally what he does. He literally based that entire character off of what he did.
So this is also the movie where Blade's glasses are kind of like Indiana Jones's hat. Like at the end, I think Whistler tosses him his glasses and he just catches them epically, puts them on. Miracle, you want to tell me about Blade 2 and how you feel about it? 2002 is Blade 2.
That was amazing. Just the vampires themselves, and then introducing, a new breed of vampires, the Reapers, and how they were so, feral and, cannibalistic, and, they crave blood. And not only did they, feed on humans, they fed on vampires as well. And, their population was just getting out of hand. And, it was amazing. And the martial arts, like Adrian was talking about, the choreography with that, just to see that beauty on screen, and more so in Blade 2 than Blade 1. I love that. I love to see that. And, thinking, I can't think of the Reaper's, the main Reaper's name. I cannot recall his name right now. Initially I thought he was, the antagonist, but in the end, it wasn't him. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, in my opinion. But it was just very powerful movie, and it just evolved from Blade 1 to Blade 2, and all the different characters and the personalities and everything that Blade had to deal with, with that new vampire group. He was constantly, on guard, but he knew what was going on. So, that was amazing.
I feel like there was a romanticism in that movie that was lacking in any of the other ones.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the reasons why that one resonated so hard with me. Like, number 2 is my favorite.
Yes.
There is this morbidly romantic feel to the entire movie. Yes, it's super stylized. It was, Matrix style, super cool. But also, there's this heart in it that is missing from all the other ones. It's not just an action film.
Adrian, I was going to share, to see that soft side of Blade. That's why I included my song when you asked me for my 3 songs for Blade, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay by Otis
I knew
Redding.
that was the one, and I knew what movie it was for.
And that's why, because of his relationship and that end scene. Just to see that, I was not expecting to see that from Blade. But to
I know
see that perspective, that was beautiful.
it
And
really
Ericka,
was.
you'll know when you watch it.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ericka, Blade 2, honey, that's the one.
So yeah, fair enough. I do have a hard time with this movie because I do like it for its horror elements. I like it for its action. I do appreciate that there are some moments for Blade, but I feel like structurally and existentially, there isn't much that really happens for Blade and Whistler. There's nothing, there's not a true second act for this movie. Like, the movie itself has a second act, but for a second movie and what became a trilogy, we don't really move Blade is a static character in this movie, and that's fine. This ultimately boils down to a Blade adventure with a beginning, middle, and end. And that'll bring us to Blade Trinity, but we're not there yet. Personally, I like this movie a lot, but I was looking for a little more characterization with the character, and like characterization with the character. Anyway, characterization from Blade. So I'm wondering if you guys feel similarly.
No, I feel
Mm-mm.
like it added dimensions to the character that weren't there before.
Yes.
A romantic
Yeah.
quality without the romance, even like that does not exist in any other Blade thing. It was really, and I think this is a female perspective.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Also,
It was.
I would like to add that Norman Reedus is in this movie. You know, Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead.
Huh?
Like, he's Scud. Like,
Scud.
we got it.
Little mole.
You know it.
Yeah, sad. It's very sad. Blade Trinity is my favorite one. It feels like a true sequel to the first movie. It's also the only Blade movie that has the Marvel logo that I think appeared first in front of X-Men or Spider-Man.
It was X-Men.
It was X-Men. Okay, yeah, X-Men came out in 2000. Okay, so this movie concerns the return of Dracula, who in this
Mhm.
movie is an ancient Sumerian warrior who's immortal and a vampire. He's
Mhm.
played by Heatwave from The Flash. He has hair.
He was in there. I
Yeah.
forgot that. Yeah.
He's not entirely unattractive, but I have two favorite parts, and it was Parker Posey being Parker Posey and fucking Natasha Lyonne, who I did not know was in that movie.
I thought it was kind of funny that Blade was concerned with what the public thought of him. Like, he killed a human. He gets tricked into killing a human, and he's like, "Motherfucker!" Like, he's so upset, and it's like, I'm like, you kill people every day. Like, you're just shooting on the street. Like, I don't, it's like the Punisher.
I think that actually was commentary.
Sure. Okay.
What do
Yeah.
you got to say, Miracle?
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to, because it's been a while since I've watched Blade 3 Trinity. And I'm trying to remember. There's a scene with a baby, right?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
that scene?
Dracula throws him a baby or steals
Yeah,
a baby. Yeah.
It's
that
a
right there.
book of Dracula. Like, it's fine.
No, but I thought that showed another side of Blade
It did.
too. It did, and I thought it was enduring. To see that part of him because of who we know who Blade is, but
They
he's
made
human.
Blade way more human, like
Yeah.
flawed. He's way more funny. He
Mm-hmm.
interacts with people. He does sometimes some things that he wouldn't normally do to like protect people. Like, yes, you are completely correct.
Yeah.
Well, he's more of a superhero in this movie. Saving babies is something they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I also wanted to point out that Triple H from WWE is in this movie. I always thought Triple H looked like Lestat, so him playing a vampire, he's the muscle in this movie. There's always a muscle character in these Blade movies. And it's Triple H in this movie, and he's cool. I like him. Let's see, what did I write here? Oh, so yeah, this movie, spoilers for a 20-year-old movie. The death of Whistler, which I feel like really should have been the linchpin for the second movie. That is a classic second act thing. That's why I like this movie a lot,
What they did with his death and then making him this dark, evil,
Mm-hmm.
dark passenger kind of character was phenomenal, actually. And he's legit scary. Like when he shows up with the blind Natasha Lyonne trying to protect the little girl and everything, and you see him and you're like, shit. I feel like this is the first one that actually had like real horror elements as opposed to
The
action.
second
It
one
was
had a
legit
lot of
scary.
horror. Second one had a lot of horror.
I mean, the second one had horror visuals, but it didn't have any of that emotional horror, which is what I look for in a good horror film. But this one, number 3, with Whistler being like, and like you're terrified of him, but you also love him, and it's like this like conflict.
Conflict.
Yes, that was it. That was it. And it's like, oh no, don't kill the little girl. No, don't do it. But
Well,
no.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's the stuff I was looking for in the second movie that wasn't there, you know? Those character dynamics, they were not there to the same degree as this movie. This movie ratcheted that stuff up. Also, this movie felt very much like it felt like what I kind of wish the MCU felt like. That's a big reason why I liked it. I connected hard with this movie. Like there's that wonderful scene where Dracula goes into it's like a vampire souvenir store. They have like vampire vibrators. They're selling Count Chocula. Like it is such a dumb scene. And I really wish that Dracula was wearing the cape and had the thing like in the comic book. But you can't have everything, right? You know, you get Heatwave or you get that, and we got Heatwave, so right. So my other big note is that there's a part where so Ryan Reynolds is in this movie, and he is a wonderful, wonderful foil for Blade, because Blade he's hard as nails, he doesn't take anyone's shit, he's aloof, he's cold, he's calculating, and Ryan Reynolds is cracking jokes. He's just as sharp as Blade. Yes, Miracle. What are you trying to say?
No, it was just a nice balance to see that.
Nice balance, right? Yeah, it's like when Thor teams up with Hercules, because Hercules is a goofball, and Thor is, well, he's Thor, right? You know. So he's playing the character of Hannibal King, who in the comic books looks a bit like John Constantine, even though he's older than John Constantine. He is turned into a vampire and then cured, but still keeps his powers. It's very weird. Comics are stupid. He can turn into mist. He doesn't have to drink blood. He can go into the sunlight, and he can command the creatures of the night like any vampire. He's very cool. Looks a lot like that. Yeah, right. What did I write? Hannibal King. He appeared in The Tomb of Dracula issue 25. So
I would love to see a story on him too. I don't know if they'll ever do it, but
Yeah.
well,
I know Ryan Reynolds has an interesting sense of humor.
He's great. No, he's truly great. I love Ryan Reynolds. I love him in this movie too. It's
Ryan Reynolds movie that I remember seeing. It's the first time he ever made an impression on me.
Oh, okay.
Because he was like sassy and funny, and the juxtaposition between him and Blade's cool, you know, it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he was really good in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Yeah, I'm just joking. So anyway, yeah, and there's a wonderful sequence where Ryan Reynolds is like, you gotta understand, Dracula's back, and Blade just goes, So then Ryan Reynolds hands him.
Probably my favorite part. I will say Parker Posey is an epic vampire badass chick, but also she's hilarious. She has that sense of humor with her fucking dogs, the vampire dogs. And I know they were just going off of Resident Evil with the fucking zombie dogs, but it was still kind of cool in the way that Ryan Reynolds like made the dogs go away.
That was neat.
So
I did like that scene.
Yeah, so Ryan Reynolds hands Blade, he says Dracula's back, and Blade goes, are you fucking kidding me? And he hands him a Tomb of Dracula comic book, and he looks at it and just throws it.
Forgot about that.
Fucking great. Great.
Forgot about that. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to rewatch that.
Please rewatch it. So what I love about this movie is it was directed by David Goyer. And again, this movie is punchy, it's exciting, it's fun. I do think it's funny that so they say, Blade. Dracula is a Sumerian warrior. They called him Dagon. Also, they called him Drake, and I'm like, did they?
Drake.
I also like that
But
he's from Sumer, but he's like some white guy. Like, I mean,
he's
you know.
not white. He's Latino.
Dominic Purcell. Oh, Dominic Purcell is Latino.
Listen to his name and then you tell me.
I don't know. I don't know things. Okay.
Question.
Mhm.
Do
No.
y'all think, Dan and Adrian, do y'all think Blade 3 should have happened before Blade 2?
I do.
Yes. 100%.
I do. I just feel like there's so much character development in this movie, and the world really explodes in a way that the second movie didn't. The second movie is so good. It's so gothic. It's so fun. It's so well done. It adds so much to the character, but at the same time, it feels very localized. Yeah. And like, if each movie was its own little world, that would be fine. That's what Mad Max does, right? But this movie feels like a direct continuation of that first movie, and it's so good. Flip to oh, he does this epic flip. So Dracula steals a baby on the roof, and he throws it, and it's Blade can't just catch the baby; he has to do an epic flip and then catch the baby.
That's beautiful.
Dr. Vance, yeah, this psychologist has a huge fucking office. What's up with that? Like,
Okay. The blind played by Natasha Lyonne, and I'm just gonna say that like she's probably one of my favorite actresses on the entire world. And I guess this was the first time I saw her, but I did not remember that it was her, but I knew like she was my favorite character in the third film. And I
Okay.
forgot it even existed until I rewatched it. And I was like, oh my God. Of course she was my favorite because it's Natasha Lyonne.
So there's a scene where he's talking to the little girl. He's talking to a little girl. He's taking his medicine because Blade doesn't drink blood. He has a serum he takes. And the little girl says, "Why are you doing that?" And he says, because if I don't take it, you won't like what happens." And she goes, "Why can't you just be nice?" And he goes, "The world isn't nice."
That I feel is a commentary on the whole fucking
Yes.
world.
Yes, that is true.
Also,
I agree with you, Adrian.
So my favorite quote from the movie is where they have the bad cop, and he's like, "Tell me what's in that building," and he goes, "I can't. They'll kill me."
I remember.
And Blade goes, "They'll kill you, motherfucker! I'll kill you." It's fucking great. It's so funny. It's so frank and to the point.
Okay, when he said, he had like 10 seconds. He said, "You have, count to 10."
Yeah.
He got 1, 2, 10. I love that.
Boom. Right in the head. Yeah. Fucking great. I like the Dita Von Teese lady. Is that Natasha Lyonne?
No, she's the blind chick. Natasha Lyonne is the blind chick that protects the.
Okay, yes.
All right. Well,
she
I like
is
the Dita
not
Von Teese.
super sex. Like, no. Yeah.
All right. Well, I like when Ryan Reynolds calls the Dita Von Teese lady a horse humping bitch and a cock juggling thunder cunt. That's
Parker that he's talking to, and she is iconically strange and wonderful. And I just suggest everyone go watch Party Girl or White Lotus. She's just phenomenal.
So, my last note before we discuss the movie in more detail is the soundtrack. Fucking.
I have not listened to the entire soundtrack.
Look, I got one big song. RZA from Wu-Tang Clan. He has a song called Fatal, and it's about Blade. It plays at key points in the movie, and it plays during the end credits. It's like, try to say my name, that's fatal. Bite through your jugular, that's fatal. It's really cool.
I'll listen. I'll definitely listen to it.
Yeah, it's really good. Also, Ramin Djawadi, who did music for Game of Thrones, he also did a song. This has probably my second favorite soundtrack, right behind The Crow. So,
I will say one of my favorite bands that is very not known, Black Lab, actually did the music for the scene during the motorcycle chase in the beginning of the third movie. Like, they literally made the song specifically for that, and I was talking to them when they were making the song, and it was so cool. But the song is fantastic, but they're like a gothic dark band anyway, so the fact that they mix like the epic like hardcore rap Wu-Tang Clan, which is like iconic. And then like weird stuff like Black Lab.
Yeah.
Like, and then they add-
It's what it is it's the genius of David Goyer and Wesley Snipes, because David Goyer understands the comic book and the horror element, and Wesley Snipes understands Blade and what he's doing. So
Yes.
they bring in all these fucking people, and they're like, you know what we're doing too, don't you? And they're
I
like,
know.
fuck.
Mhm.
It was
beautiful.
everything. I actually
Okay.
own the
Let me
Blade.
let me read the lyrics, because it's really good. This is for Fatal. All right, so they chant Daywalker. First, they open with Blade, ready to die. I was born ready, motherfucker. It's the feast of blood with sin, unleash the beast within. I walk around with the strength of 100 men. You best to run before I count to 10. Blood dripping from my canine like a fountain pen. It seems I've been asleep for 1,000 years. The way my world has changed, it bring me 1,000 tears. Prince of darkness, they walk through the rays of light. To this breed of vampire, I'm the prototype. The shape-shifting, mirror image, flash phototype. To everlast, an original red blood O-type. He was born perfect, like the great white shark. This guy has never had to evolve, right? And then they chant Daywalker. Try to use my name, that's fatal. Tried to claim my fame, but that's fatal. About to bring the pain, that's fatal. Bite through your jugular vein, that's fatal. Try to use my name, that's fatal. Tried to claim my fame, but that's fatal, right? And that's largely the song. Oh wait, hang on. They have Blade's quote, "You're not immortal. I must have heard hundreds of rodents make the same claim, and each one of them tasted the bitter end of my sword. I strike back with a vengeance, the father of your descendants, and I can't be deflected by your silver cross pendants. Blurry holy water, you make the false images. One swing from the sickle, your life diminishes. Stinging like the scorpion, strike with the force of 10. My blood is known to revitalize corpse of men. In the last days, they said the dead would walk again. The blind, the deaf, and the dumb will talk again." Daywalker. And yeah,
Okay,
obviously,
you guys
it's about
have to read
Dracula.
the song because that's got like real mythology shit in it,
Of
and
course it
that's
does. It's about Dracula.
obviously, like so obviously, but also like
Yeah, so
yeah.
this is RZA, the master of the Wu-Tang Clan. So, fuck yeah. I'm not as I've been listening to the song like obsessively since I watched the movie. So,
I love.
I'll definitely be listening to it later.
Yeah, me too.
absolutely.
You too, Adrian? Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's gonna. Oh my god, I think it's actually gonna go
Yeah.
on my Halloween mix this year.
Oh.
I'm gonna listen to it on
Yeah,
repeat.
it's on Spotify and stuff. So, okay. So those are my notes for Blade Trinity. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the future. I want to talk a little bit about your feelings. Right. So, yeah, Blade Trinity, very cool. Do check it out.
Yes.
Yeah. So Blade would be seen in comic books here and there over the years. I mean, there was the Blood Hunt crossover, which I reckon it's only 4 issues. Go read it. Now, there's been talk about, as we said in part 1, Marshala Ali playing Blade. Didn't happen, right? But it might still happen someday. Who the fuck knows?
How
Recently,
much you feel about Michael B. Jordan playing Blade?
I know, right? You know what?
Right.
Someone was talking about that. I can't remember where.
Were they really?
Say it one more time.
Were they really talking about that? Because I feel
No.
like
On Facebook, not like.
it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all fake.
But I know I would love to see that, but
He's
I
good.
think it's far fetched.
Michael
I
B.
think
Jordan make a Blade movie. Ryan Coogler, you could do Blade and you could rock it.
Yes. Now that's what I do agree. I would love to see a collaboration with Coogler and Goyer.
Coogler is a what's my word? He's an auteur. He's a brilliant filmmaker.
He's a savant. He's just
let's talk about Deadpool and Wolverine, okay? We don't have a lot to say about Deadpool and Wolverine. It is not relevant to our vibe. It is off-brand. It is
minus one moment in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Quiet. Let me do my thing. Come on, stop it. Let me introduce it. It's not on brand for Demon Toast, but it has Blade in it, so we're here to talk about it. Yeah. So because of multiversal shenanigans, Deadpool and Wolverine wind up in some, liminal space where forgotten movie franchises go to die. and he meets several people. He meets the Chris Evans, Johnny Storm. He meets Jennifer Garner's Elektra. He meets the Gambit that never was. I don't know why they didn't use Taylor Kitsch. It's fucking bullshit. But they have Channing Tatum as Gambit, and they have our own Wesley Snipes as Blade. And Deadpool says, you're very well regarded. And he replies, retarded? And he goes, no, well regarded. He goes, okay. Like, he can't hear him. Like, he's not that old.
Oh.
So, I don't know, how about it? Talk about fucking
My
Blade.
favorite part of that whole thing was he was like, I don't like you. And it's
I don't like
Ryan
you.
Reynolds, who is in the Blade movies, and he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
you never did.
You never did.
That was like,
That was so,
it.
yeah, that was classic.
It's
That
really
was
funny.
classic.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
I like that.
The other hilarious part is where they're talking, there have been so many Punishers and Deadpools that have come through here. And Wesley Snipes goes, there's only one Blade.
Yes.
And Deadpool looks at the camera like,
Mhm.
because there's
That
supposed to be a Marvel Blade the next year.
He is Blade. He's
I
literally
love that. Yeah.
at
Yeah.
least
He
like,
embodies. Yeah.
Yeah,
He is
so,
Blade.
So that's all we have to say about Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, there's also the TV show starring Sticky Fingers. It is very good. It's my favorite Blade ever. His tattoos are awful. His hair is non-existent, and his coolness is. I really hate to trash the guy, but it's such a bad show. It's like worse than that CW garbage, that Arrow Flash stuff.
You should just say Supernatural, because at least that one's like mildly watchable. And by mildly
Right?
watchable,
No,
obsessively
yeah, but I'm not talking about the good ones. I'm talking about like the superhero trash. Like the Flash is good for like 2 seasons, maybe. Then everything else is. So like yeah. So this was on Spike TV. It is not really worth your time. It's supposed to be a follow up to Blade Trinity. I don't know how. My last bit of trivia is that Blade 2 was supposed to have Morbius in it, but Marvel said no. We are developing a movie about Morbius, and we don't want it to be influenced by this. And I'm glad they did that, because we got a great Morbius movie.
And you know what?
I'm just kidding. I fucking hate that movie.
Yes, Miracle. What were you gonna say?
Just real quick, at the end, was it the end of Blade 1?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember they were saying something about Morbius on that at the very end.
They literally were. You are
They
not
run
wrong.
into-
That totally
It's-
happened.
Yeah, he's played by the director of the movie, incidentally.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't name him Morbius, though. It's just
Okay.
vampire in Romania or something, or wherever the
Got
hell they
it.
are. Yeah.
And
I
so
love
it's
Morbius, by the way.
Romania is like the birthplace of the modern vampire. Like the European vampire that we have, it will always be Romania.
Of course, Morbius is not a Romanian vampire, or really a vampire. He's a living vampire. He's a science vampire. And it's a shame that movie never got made, because I love Morbius. And someday maybe we'll get a Morbius movie, Adrian, what do you want to say?
Because we're completely like the other thing that you guys are going to say, and all of you guys are going to like be like, blah, blah, blah. No, that doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist.
What are you talking
Nothing.
about?
I'm talking about nothing. There's nothing,
There's
Johnson.
no Morbius movie. Marvel was going to make one, and then they didn't. And then Sony, I think they cast. I don't know, it never happened. I don't know. Whatever. Oh God, we didn't say this in the first episode. Blade's mother was attacked by a vampire, and yeah, it wasn't Morbius. Is that what you meant?
Someone that is half human and half vampire. Right. Very rare thing, and that is what a damn fear is.
I don't think Morbius can turn people into vampires. He's not a real vampire.
He can't, because he's a scientific vampire, kind of.
He's a science pyre, yeah.
He is a science pyre. But that's also part of the thing, because Morbius is also part human and part vampire in a way. And that's why Blade and him are like sides of the same coin. Like, they're literally like, they're yin and yang.
Yeah, so I do recommend reading the Rise of the Midnight Suns storyline. It runs through Ghost Rider comics, Blade comics. Blade had a comic called Night Stalkers with Hannibal King and Frank Drake, and Morbius. Morbius had an ongoing in the 90s. it's pretty good. I mean, I love Morbius. I'm a big fan of the character. I love him. And, well, maybe someday we'll get a live action Midnight Suns. Now, there is a Midnight Suns game, which I didn't talk about. It has Blade, it has Deadpool, it has fucking Ghost Rider, it has all these characters. It has Morbius, too, and they're all delightful. The writing is excellent. They fight vampires in it. They're there to fight Lilith. She's the big bad, that sexy fishnet lady that I keep showing. Here
With
she
the
is again.
amazing horns that are fantastic.
Makes me horny. Yeah, no, so no, but yeah, I mean, maybe someday all this stuff will happen. I don't know, but I do recommend playing the Midnight Suns game. Blade is very much the he's very much the Wesley Snipes Blade, but you can do much worse.
No, honestly, I don't think you can do much better. Wesley Snipes is Blade.
He's very good. Now the you know, that the 2023 Blade book, he seems to have moved beyond being Wesley Snipes, but he acts very much like that character, and the influence is undeniable. And I think that that's a good place to stop because, frankly, the big centerpiece for these episodes are these three movies. They are brilliant. They define the character in a way that none of his comic books really had. They were edging towards it and kept getting canceled. Night Stalkers is not bad, but you know, Blade spends a lot of time fighting demons that each one has a different power. One of them looks like a mummy, you know. One of them looks like a zombie. He fights vampires here and there. It's very trashy stuff. It's very pulpy, and it's okay, but it feels like filler for a real book, which didn't really come until, well, we're still waiting for it. But yeah,
Mary, what do you say about that?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if Miracle had any closing thoughts. Yeah,
I just want to share one of my favorite lines from the Blade series at the end.
Please, I'll cut my last thing.
All right. My favorite line, and this is Blade. There are worse things out tonight than vampires, like me.
Like me.
I love that.
It's pretty cool.
Because his future, he's got to wear shades.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Coolness. Yeah.
I know.
The mortal power of cool.
Exactly.
The mortal magic of cool. That's it. It's from a Thor comic. Okay.
Yes, like that.
Because they made Sigurd black in the Thor comic, you know. Yeah. So so Miracle, do you want to close us out with some closing thoughts on Mr. Blade?
I tell you, I've watched a lot of movies over the years, but Blade is one of my favorites of all time, just because of who he is, what he embodies, and he's so strong and powerful, and so he just will always be I'll hold dear to my heart, always, and I always talk about him whenever I have the opportunity, whenever I'm at comic cons or book festivals. And you know, one of my questions that I do this workshop, you know, for teens, and I have a lot of fandoms. And so the last question that I have been asked, I'm gonna change it up, of course, but I asked them which Marvel character saved Marvel, and I can tell you no one has got it right yet.
They all say Spider-Man, don't they?
They either it's Spider-Man or Iron Man.
Yep, that was the one I was gonna say.
Because they're thinking of the movie, right? That was 2008. That's Marvel was fucked in the 90s. Yeah.
So anyways, I always include him however I can. So that's how much I love him.
Absolutely. Adrian, you have a closing thought about Mr. Blade?
I just want to say, all of you amazing writers and comic book artists, do something with this character. He's phenomenal.
Yes, please.
Make something that matters. Give him the justice he deserves. Like, come on, guys, your future's so bright you gotta wear shades. Like, give us some Blade, like the real Blade. Like, make it happen. We're here for it.
Absolutely.
The Brian Hill book wasn't terrible, but on the other side of that, when you see Blade on the stands, buy him because you're part of the problem. You know, like, give it a chance. Like, they gave him a book in 2023. I guess it was just a mini, but he could have gotten an ongoing. That said,
Buy Blade. Hashtag buy Blade.
hashtag buy Blade. Hashtag buy
Yes.
Blade.
Yep.
Yeah, so I have talked a lot, so I think that's it. I am Daniel Sokoloff. Go read my books at demonlandbooks.com, deathwishpoetry.com. Check out the brilliant writers we highlight and spotlight and love very much. Adrian is, of course, the chairperson and founder of the Horror Film Art Society of Amarillo, Texas. Adrian, you want to tell us about that?
This month, like I said, we are doing She is Conan, but by the time this episode hits, we will be in spooky season. So I'm going to do something really crazy, and we are each going to choose an episode of the podcast Scared to Death. And I want everyone to choose an episode, do a painting based on one of the stories in each episode, because they've got between 5 and 6. Let's do it. And we're going to do this amazing show, and we are going to be sending it to Scared to Death. It's going to be phenomenal, guys. This is a huge thing. So bring on your spooky, guys. Bring it on.
Miracle is, of course, an independent writer, much like myself. Miracle, do you want to tell people about your writing and where you can be found?
Yes, I'm a young adult, new adult horror supernatural author. You can find me on Amazon. I am on Facebook as Miracle Austin Author, Instagram mostly, but my Instagram, Twitter handles are at Miracle Austin 7. So
Beautiful.
check me out. And I appreciate y'all both very much.
Thank
I
you.
will
Thank you, Miracle.
say some of Miracle's short stories are some of the most intensely amazing things I've ever read. So, guys, seriously, go check it out.
Yeah, maybe we'll cover them on stream. All right, so that said, write poetry, make art, love your demons, Ave Satanis.
Blade. Ready to die.
I was born ready, motherfucker.
Of the blood was sent, unleash the beast within. I walk around with the strength of 100 men. You best to run before I count the 10. Blood dripping from my canine like a fountain pen. It seems I've been asleep for 1,000 years. The way my world has changed, it brings me 1,000 tears. Prince of darkness, they walk through the rays of light. To this beat of empire, I'm the prototype. The shape-shifting mirror image flash phototype. The everlasting division, the red bloodotype.
He was born perfect. And just like the great white shark, the sky has never had to fall.
Come on, walk with me. Come